Hello, it's Thursday afternoon, about 3:30, and I thought I'd record a thought for today. It's really been prompted by all the stuff that's been in the news recently and over the last couple of days on social media about companies getting contracts to build things, about stimulus for our economies, and so on and so on. And really reading accounts of people who had to go into work and not really wanted to go in or been worried about the impact of that on their health. And I was reflecting this morning again on Matthew 4, on the readings for Lent. Matthew 4, the temptation of Jesus. In verse 8 it says, the devil took him up to a very high mountain and showed him all the kingdoms of the world and their splendour. All this, he said, I'll give to you if you just bow down and worship me. Jesus' reply to the devil was, away from me. For it's written, you shall worship the Lord your God and serve him only. Jesus refused the temptation to put wealth and power and economic interest above the good and interest of everybody. Jesus' kingdom was never about a love of power, so much as about the power of love. The way for Jesus was service and sacrifice for the good of all people, not power and wealth for the good of a small number. And I personally get frustrated and saddened when I see people forced to work in companies which are not critical and for which there's no real expectation or need. And there's stimulus in the economy for big companies and big corporations and contracts being awarded. And yet the smallest individuals, the craftsmen, the artists, the self-employed have no certainty of their futures at all. When political decisions are taken that put lives at risk for economic gain, or when people profit from the continuing situation in this country, it strikes me as a love of power. It strikes me as all about the economy rather than about the power of love and the kingdom economy of service. This is a Lent season. It's a time when we think about selfless sacrifice for the greater good. We remember what Christ himself did as he offered himself in service to the world and ultimately to death on the cross. And so for our doctors, our nurses, our social care workers, our cleaners, our supermarket workers, our school teachers, our butchers and bakers and grocers, and today I was reminded too, our funeral directors who are going through such a tough time. They're working and they're sacrificing for all of us, for the benefit of everyone. And their reward sadly won't be in the kingdoms of this world and their splendour. I pray that this day they, like you, might know the peace and protection of God. They all have and deserve our great and enormous thanks.